People think they understand Greatsword, but there are so many mistakes you're making without even realizing it. So today, I'm going to expose every bad habit holding your Greatsword back. The first mistake you need to avoid is playing Greatsword. The second mistake, spamming attacks. You do not want to spam attacks on Greatsword. As much as Greatsword looks like a weapon you can just mash with, your attacks need to have a purpose behind them. It should either be to hit your opponent, apply pressure, or bait your opponent, but you'll rarely be baiting your opponent with attacks. If you're missing a lot of attacks, you need to slow down and focus. Remember that the more attacks you miss, the more opportunities you give to your opponent to punish you. Mistake number 3, not keeping center stage control. Greatsword is incredible at holding center stage. Staying in the middle gives you more room to extend strings and prevents your opponent from dodging off stage where you can't continue them. It also means that if you get hit, you are much farther away from being forced off stage yourself. Not only that, but staying in the middle pressures your opponent to attack you. So be prepared to punish them and keep your stage advantage. Mistake number 4, keeping your Greatsword one-dimensional. And what do I mean by this? Well, a lot of Greatsword players only think on the ground. For example, if your opponent dodges up, most people immediately think to Enlight. But you have so many aerial options available. You can catch that dodge with recovery, nair, sair, anything, bro. Greatsword becomes much scarier once you stop separating grounded and aerial play and start flowing between both. Mistake number 5, not sending your opponent into the air. Greatsword is such a great weapon at juggling your opponent in the air with its nair and recovery. And there's multiple ways you can launch your opponent up. Ending a string in an Enlight is the way to go. I personally use Enlight, D-Light, Enlight the most to launch people into the air. You can also just do a grounded recovery, but once they're airborne, your goal is to keep them there. So take advantage of your Greatsword kit and force them to land on your terms. Mistake number 6, trying to punish every single move that's thrown out. You need to play the game a lot to understand moves and weapons and how much end lag they have. There's a ton of moves that will be thrown out that you just cannot punish. Either you can't get to them in time or they just have no end lag. It's a whole thing. And trying to punish them will most likely result in you taking damage from missing your punish. So it's important to understand that you do not get put at a disadvantage for not going for a punish that you're unsure about. It's better to wait until you're certain that you can punish an attack than to miss and take damage. Mistake number 7, fishing for long strings every interaction. It is so common that players will land an opener and try to get a dodge read by doing a chase dodge into another opener or whatever read you're going for, right? Doing this could cost you the game. Greatsword is not about greed, it's about control. You do not want to risk them dodging and then punishing you. If you don't have their dodge, do not force a high risk read. There are safe attack options you can go for that are much harder to punish or wake up against after you land a hit. You can do jump dash recovery, empty hop and react to what they're going to do, or just back up and reset neutral. And the last mistake you're going to want to avoid is never waiting. This is the biggest difference between average and high level Greatsword players. Low and average level Greatsword players overextend, they always try to read when they land a hit, they always try to punish every move that gets thrown out, but one of the strongest things you can do is nothing, and wait. Your movement alone is what creates opportunities to land hits, and being impatient is what leads to making more mistakes. Greatsword in the lower stages trains you to always look for dodges and always try to read to get more damage. But as you improve, you'll need to switch to playing Greatsword with more consistency. And that doesn't come from burst reads. That comes from winning hits in neutral over and over, and even prioritizing aerial moves rather than grounded. So these were all the mistakes you should be avoiding and be aware of that could be holding yourself back from reaching your new peak.